G'day guys and gal, Warhammer 40k memes are some of the best, with the Grimdank subreddit having around 370,000 members. Love you guys. A massive reason for this is that since the lore of 40k is often so over the top and was originally designed as a parody setting, a lot of shit that happens is completely ridiculous in the most awesome way possible. As well as the fact that the memes cut through so much fluff that it's often the fastest way to get an understanding of the lore. However, you often sacrifice accuracy, which has caused a lot of debate within the fandom. So it's time to do my duty and fix my mess by looking at some of the best Warhammer 40k lore memes to determine how accurate to the lore they actually are. Before we get started, another day, another Tacticus video. I've been informed that so many of your souls have now been consumed by the addiction that is Tacticus because of me that they have once again renewed my contract. This time it's all about the Tyranids, especially the new Death Leaper and Winged Tyranid Prime unlockable characters. Tyranids have been a big part of Tacticus for a while now, but with their roster nearing completion, it's a fantastic time to jump in. The Death Leaper is a single target assassin designed to spread as much terror as possible. Its active ability allows it to jump in and massacre a single target while debuffing the hell out of surrounding enemies, with its passive supporting that type of gameplay, gaining a bonus with each new targeted attacks. The Winged Tyranid Prime is a commander nid, as befitting its status as a synapse creature. It's all about summoning units and overwhelming the enemy. Its active ability summons Tyranid warriors with its passive summoning Hormagaunts. The Death Leaper is unlockable via the Halloween event and Battle Pass starting on the 22nd of October, whilst the Winged Prime becomes available to unlock on the 29th. Two awesome new characters added to the best mobile game I've ever played. So to get started for free, use my link below as well as code Majorleaper, available for both new and existing players. Cheers to Tacticus for sponsoring this video. Today we'll go over the most popular memes about Warhammer 40k lore to actually determine how accurate they are. This isn't meant to kill any memes, more so to just ensure that you don't end up looking like an idiot when you discuss lore with your local Uber neckbeard who has read every little bit of literature that GW has ever pumped out. Let's get into it. We will start hot and heavy with the classic meme of space wolves are a bunch of fairies that fuck dogs. This meme stems from the fact that pretty much every rank and aspect of the Space Wolf chapter has the word wolf in it. Wolfguard, Wolflord, their Primarch was raised by wolves, they ride wolves into battle, and so on. Hence, to mock the 6th Legion's apparent obsession with wolves, people, especially Thousand Sun fans, say they fuck dogs, which is pretty funny to be honest. But is it lore accurate? Do they fuck dogs? Well, I'm sure it's happened, but no, they aren't dog fuckers, and they also aren't actually that obsessed with wolves. See, the Space Wolves never gave themselves these title and names. They actually find the term Space Wolf to be offensive and prefer the true title of Vilka Fenrika. All those other titles are just poorly translated into English, or Gothic as it's known in 40k, with the actual names being much more sophisticated and less furry. Sure, wolves are a big part of their identity, after all Eamon was raised by wolves, and Fenris's main predator are genetically modified wolves, so there is some homage paid to that aspect, but no one calls the Raven Guard a bunch of bird fuckers or Vulcan a lizard fucker. If you actually look at a space wolf, their armor is adorned with runes, glyphs, and various totems. Some from wolves, yes, but others from hawks, bears, and so on. Only a few have wolf pelts on their armor because wolf pelts are dope as fuck. In a similar vein, many salamanders have scale hides as cloaks. Consider this meme inaccurate, but quite funny. The next one always brings a smile to my face. The meme of Khan being a pretty swell guy that was a total bro. But is that true? Well, let's have a look. Sure, he is now called Khan the Betrayer and not for nice reasons, but prior to this, how was he? When Angron was knocked out, Khan was more or less the de facto leader of the Legion and could have made the choice to forever stop the implantation of the Butcher's nails within his Legion, but he chose not to do that and he allowed the Legion to become poisoned. He didn't even remotely question Angron's decision to become a traitor and was more than happy to betray the Imperium, only being sad that Sigismund and Nasir Amit were on the other side. He stood by while his Primarch committed untold atrocities and he was best friends with an evil half-demon. He then went on to kill a shitload of Space Marines, both his own and that of the Emperor's children, because they called a ceasefire as it was literally too cold on the planet to fight, thus earning his name the Betrayer. Now he runs around the galaxy like a fucking maniac, killing everyone he can on whatever team. So no, I wouldn't really class him as a bro. The meme comes from the fact that Khan was a really well-written bad guy, with his share of doubts, interesting perspectives, and his loyalty to his battle brothers. His friendship with Argyll was a joy to read about, a half-demon and a berserker holding the other's sanity together, doing everything they could to keep each other alive and their minds intact. When Argyll was killed by Erebus, Khan beat the ever-living shit out of him, which everyone did love reading about, so you could argue that he and Argyll had a great bromance, but he really has never been a swell guy, and if he was, that Khan is long dead. The next meme is that the Mechanicus Mechanicus are a bunch of toaster fuckers who have no clue what they're actually doing and just kind of rub oil on shit in hopes that it works. This meme came from the fact that due to the horrors of the Horus Heresy and how the traitor Mechanicum removed all safeguards with their tech and research, which in turn created obscene abominations, the newly reformed loyal Mechanicus officially curbed most of their invention and innovation in order to prevent that shit from happening again. Their lack of invention wasn't them being stupid, it was literally against their laws, with them instead being focused on finding STCs to advance rather than risk inventing something overly dangerous. So yes, while they do use incense and oils and religious rites to activate machines, it's not because they have no idea what is happening, it's because machine spirits are a big part of the Mechanicus tech, and for a machine to run well, the machine spirit has to be satisfied. Prior to the Horus Heresy, the Mechanicum was inventing tons of cool shit, stuff like the light-based new sphere or new types of titans and warships. Even with the laws in place, many tech priests, like Belisarius Cawl, continue to invent, coming up with new marks of bolt guns and power armor. Belisarius literally improved the Emperor's Space Marine project over 10,000 years, as well as coming out with a new advanced Mark 10 armor, with various new impressive vehicles of war. So no, the meme isn't entirely accurate. The Mechanicus are more than capable of invention and innovation, many of them are just scared to do so. But yeah, they definitely fuck toasters. I'm kidding. Unless. Onto a similar meme now. It's the Orcs' collective power of belief giving them the ability to alter and break reality itself on a whim, meaning if they believe something to be true, then it absolutely is. This meme is actually kind of complicated, with the lore throwing a few spanners in the works here and there. To explain it better, the meme basically states that if you give an orc a banana and you convince him with 100% certainty that it's a nuclear bomb, it will gain the power of a nuke. This is untrue, sorry to burst your bubble. In reality, the Orc's reality warping gestate field kind of bends and twists reality, but it doesn't break it. An actual example is that Orcs believe that colors have power, hence they do actually get some level of boost depending on what color they paint their shit. Red is the color of speed, hence they paint a lot of their vehicles red. Yellow is the color of power, so they paint a lot of their rockets and guns yellow. Black is the color of toughness, with purple being the color of stealth, because no one has ever seen a purple orc. Funnily enough, that last one was often thought to just be a meme. However, it's actually recently become lore friendly, with at least one occasion I know of in the lore involving an orc painted purple actually becoming stealthy. Another aspect of this meme is that only orcs can use orc tech, as it's only held together through the power of belief, which also isn't entirely accurate. There are many examples of Imperials using orc vehicles or weapons. Fucking Commissar Yarrick himself literally used an orc power claw after all. However, when the Mechanicus analyzed orc tech, they found it shouldn't work as well as it does. Hence the orc belief isn't making it work, it's just making it work better than it should. Think of the belief power as a buff rather than a reality shattering superpower that if the orcs knew how to tap into and leverage would all make them gods. The word communism gets thrown around a fair bit, like a steaming hot potato that burns your hands. You've probably heard of the meme that the Tau are communists and whoever plays them on tabletop are a bunch of dirty fucking commies. I'm not really sure where this one came from other than the Tau drawing a lot of inspiration from Asian culture, which I then assume people were like, haha, Asians are communists. And whilst there are elements of communism in Tau society, that also could be said for most countries on Earth. I'd say Tau are more weeby than commie with their Gundams. But overall no, the Tau use a caste system, and while the concept of the greater good and the position of the ethereals above the rest does seem very communist, there are also significantly more communist factions. The Crawford Elder, with their lack of currency and everyone contributing to society, or the Gene Stealers, who rise up to seize a planet's resources and production only to then feed it to uncaring overlords. These two examples are much more communist than the Tau. I think it mostly comes down to the Tau often being unfun to play against in tabletop, with their railguns and ability to table the shit out of you from across the map unless you have an ungodly amount of terrain. Hence us salty custody players just say, fuck you commie, as our own petty revenge. Also, two birds with one stone here. The Tau did not evolve directly from fish. Their features would indicate a more bovine evolution. Now let's check out the I am Alfarius meme, and just like everything to do with Alfarius, it's kind of hard to explain. The thing is, yes, Alpha Legionnaires say they are Alfarius all the time, so the meme isn't exactly a lore inaccuracy. It's more so people just having a laugh with it, so instead of debunking it, because there's nothing to debunk, I'll just explain its context. Alfarius loves misdirection. He loves tricking people, even if there is no tactical benefit. He basically pulls that Padme shit all the time, where he acts as an honor guard to one of his warriors who is pretending to be him. The Alpha Legion all aim to look the same so that at any moment, almost any of them can fill in for the role of Primarch. This has resulted in very few people being able to keep track of Alfarius, and if he is alive or not. Spoiler, he's not, but so many people are unsure because of the I am Alfarius thingo. So not exactly an incorrect lore meme, more so people just having fun with how over the top Alfarius was with his misdirection. Now for the meme that the Inquisition just blow up every planet they come across if they get a whiff of heresy. This meme mostly came from the Months of Shame as well as Inquisitor Cryptman attempting to starve the Tyranids. In the Months of Shame, the Space Wolves helped a bunch of civilians escape the Inquisition and travel to other Imperial worlds. The overly zealous Inquisitor Lord who was chasing them believed that each world they had visited was now tainted, hence he blew them all up, which, yeah, pretty fucking stupid, but the entire Months of Shame was stupid, so there's that. As for Cryptman, the worlds he blew up were only going to serve to feed the Tyranids, so whilst it was extreme, tactically for the big picture, it did make sense. However, outside of these outlier cases, exterminatuses almost never happen. If the Inquisition suspects taint on a world, they will send an Inquisitor, with exterminatuses being saved for worlds that have fallen to Tyranids that have almost consumed them, or worlds that have been taken over by gene stealers, or worlds that have been extremely corrupted and are becoming demon worlds. Always a last resort, not just a Lamau XD. How about the meme that Guilliman and Yvraine are fucking? This one's on me, guys. My meme video on it has over 500,000 views. This meme stems from Yvraine helping to revive Guilliman, followed up by GW releasing a meme art of them all having Thanksgiving dinner together. But no, not only have they never fucked, but they also aren't even friends. They barely spoke to each other and neither of them particularly care for the other. The majority of communication G-Man had with the Elder was via Eldrad, not Yvraine. So tragically, the big blue G-Man is not smashing that tight Elder ass. As for the final meme today, the Blood Ravens are a bunch of kleptomaniacs that love stealing shit, hence are called the Magpies. This meme comes from the fact that in the Dawn of War games, there is a shitload of findable relics that the Blood Ravens put in their armory that would be considered highly sacred to other Space Marine chapters. Stuff like Forgebreaker, which was Ferrus Manus' weapon, a bunch of Custodes gear, a bunch of relics belonging to the Blood Angels, Dark Angels, and Salamanders, as well as many other chapters. Guys even have a full set of Grey Knight armor, so whilst I don't think they'll be going around raiding and stealing from their allies, I do think it's fair to say they enjoy collecting shit, and if they weren't such klepto heads, they probably would have returned most of the stuff to its rightful homes amongst their allies. Remember, memes always have an origin, and whilst it's important to suss out how lore friendly they are before repeating them as gospel, Warhammer is a setting that isn't afraid to have fun, so if you want to call a Space Wolf buddy a Chihuahua fucker, you have my complete unconditional blessing. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then pick up some Majorkill merch, t-shirts, singlets, a hoodie, and a bathrobe, only available for a few more days. Hit the subscribe button and hit the real subscribe button for more memey content. Join the Discord for more memes and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.